And with the right infrastructure, you could be able to feed a lot of people with what's here.
Well, I know one group that has the infrastructure to feed a lot of people that I've been working with recently. I'll close that up.
Okay.
I'll put an alarm on it, also as a ritual, mental alarm.
Okay.
And I'll head back to the barracks and then to the gatehouse and start working on getting groups to distribute that.
There is a downside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who owns this house, and taking this material would almost certainly be stealing.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll retrofit the law afterwards.
Yeah, he didn't seem too bothered about it when we were stealing fish from the temple.
And the rest of you are going to the place where you were supposed to deliver the fake Quran?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you arrive, and you're very quickly met by who you presume to be a Chaos Man. But, I mean, he's dressed in Noble's finery, and he's got a fancy cigarette in his mouth as he comes over and looks a little amused and maybe impressed at how many Qurans he sees. And he says, "So, which of you is the Factal?"
We all
I
are.
am.
Quran. Quran.
Quran.
Very well. He casts Detect Thoughts to figure out which of you is the real Quran.
And none of us is going to give him backlash, so he's going to realize we're all lying.
I always forget, right? You don't have that mind shielding ring anymore, right?
No, I give that back.
And he goes
Terrence has
to
it.
he goes to each of you in turn. And after he gets to the
He gets the mahogany, and you hear, "This is the dumbest thing that I have ever done."
wow, that's saying something.
You hear wibbly bibbly when he gets to liberation.
I watched this man turn into a shark and fall on a pirate once. That was really dumb.
That had a purpose. I don't know why we're doing this.
After
I
he
feel like a parody of a cipher.
After he scans the last of you, he looks very distraught. And he says, "None of you are the Factal."
That's right. Don't you have him?
He says, where is he?
We didn't have the real one.
He specifically requested that the priestess of the Temple of Osprim escort the real Factal.
He just... we didn't know he was the real one. He disappeared along the way. Couldn't find him.
Mahogany
After
raised
that.
his hand. I knew he was the real one.
How did you know?
Because it was dumb. It
He
was
looks-
the dumbest thing I could have thought of.
He looks very distraught. And then he leans in and he says, "Dismiss this illusion before you draw any more attention."
Yeah, right, does that.
Okay.
And then Kron's still standing there.
And he shoots daggers at Mahogany. He says, "Quickly, the last thing we need is a scuffle with the harmonium."
Mahogany
Bit late
shifts
for
over.
that.
To like an upside down Quran.
Yeah. To another riot.
He begins asking specifics about what happened on the way here.
We met with a couple of Harmonium Patrol, gave him a laugh. After the second one, we looked back, and she motioned to the chains that I think Liberation had been carrying, or somebody.
Yeah.
He was in those chains, just to gussy up the show a little bit. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't there at all.
And he considers this for a moment. And he says, "Your story checks out. The Factal always did
Listen.
love chains."
Yeah, I know. Listen,
Mm-mm.
he said that there was some way that he knew to get off signal. Is that what he did? Did he just decide to do it midway through the street?
He looks confused. He says, "What way off Sigil? The portals are closed."
He said he knew a way that wasn't a portal. All the Chaosmen knew it, he said.
He lied because he's Quran and they're all Quran, and I hate this.
Or his way off Sigil was to get mazed by the lady.
And the
Did you
chaos.
see the lady? I didn't see the lady.
That doesn't stop her. We've been through this with one other Factal, actually.
Who was definitely not mazed, who we know for a fact was not mazed.
He was almost Maze, though, we know for a fact.
Is anybody paying attention to the Chaos Man as you guys are bickering like this?
Liberation is.
Liberation, as these guys are having this conversation about he was Maze, no he wasn't, duck season, wabbit season, you see the Chaos Man just start backing away. He looks just very sad, and he's just gonna let them to it. He's leaving.
Liberation's going after him.
Okay, and doing what?
Say, hey, look, we did our best, and he just up and vanished.
And he says he understands, but in the end there was nothing to be done. He had earned the lady's ire, it seems.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of looks up at the smog in the sky and the wreckage in the city around you from the recent fighting, and he says, "Would that the rest of us could escape it."
If only.
So, Nath, you're setting up infrastructure to start bringing food out of this place.
Yeah, here's exactly what I want to do. Can I just explain my whole plan, and then
Please do.
we can figure out how many actions that is? Okay, excellent. Yeah. I am going to get as many of the Harmonia members as I can. I will completely commandeer the mess hall in the barracks, and I'm going to split the food in half. I'm going to cast one mansion both here and in the gatehouse, and I'm going to give instructions that all the food be served in the mansions after the 100 meals that they come with are expended, and that way no one can hoard food.
Okay.
You bring people in with food, they get to eat, and then they are allowed to leave. And basically that's the rest of Nath's day, is going back and forth and using his spells to do that.
You're not concerned at all about the fact that this is highly illegal?
No.
Okay. And what are the rest of you doing for the day before arriving back at the temple?
We're close by. We're close by the. Where was it? The prison? I guess the prison. I'm gonna go see if my man in the prison has managed to get together any more anarchists.
Okay. And what about the rest of you? We're just cleaning up last actions before we get back to the prison and Darkwood's done with what he's doing.
Liberation poses a question to the rest of the group and says, "Hey, you think it's weird that it's just like all the faction leadership is vanishing?"
No.
Well,
and it's because
it might be escalating. So I would be very careful about taking leadership roles in your faction in case the lady is just so pissed off with your faction that
it can't do anything but de-escalate. All the leaders are gone.
But there are other leaders taking their places. Liberation nods to Mahogany, and gestures to the direction where Nath left.
Mahogany shrugs. He says, "The lady's going to do what she's going to do. I have to do what I'm going to do."
Good answer.
Be safe, okay? That's all I'm saying.
All right, anything else before reconvening at the temple this evening?
Kelian would like to level up.
Yeah, you'll have time to do that. That's fine.
All right.
Does anybody else still need to level at this point?
I'm gonna have enough experience. Well, I might have enough experience at the end of the session to level.
Okay.
But I don't yet.
So, Riot, you take a quick sojourn into the prison, and it's starting to look a lot more organized than when you were here last. Most of the refugees that were here have now been moved to the barracks or to other locations. It looks like the Sons of Mercy have complete control of the prison, and your man on the inside has managed to get a couple of the names back together for whatever you need them to do.
Okay.
They say that they're not much for open warfare, which seems to be what's on everybody's mind these days, but they're eager to get back to work.
No, the anarchists who are into open warfare are going to get themselves killed real soon. We need people to believe, and this is what I want you to do, is any anarchist you can sway over to this methodology. Right, I probably wouldn't use the word like methodology. To this plan, put out the word that the reason the factals are gone is because the factions are over. And whatever faction war is happening right now is just the twitching corpse before it's stilled. If people want to survive the days and the weeks to come, they better leave their factions.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's going to save any of us from the Lady's Wrath.
And they're eager to get to that work. But one of them says that he found something for you. This is not the one you were speaking to the other day. You were told that this particular one is one of the guys that scattered.
Yeah.
Something that you're going to be interested in having. During their time in the prison, you had them on Nylesia pretty much around the clock, and you gave them a lot of time and considerable resources, and at a few points told them to accept considerable risk.
Mm-hmm.
What he hands you is a small velvet bag. He says that he nicked this out of Nylesia's personal quarters. He managed to get the task of going in and out and emptying her bedpans twice a day. And he says...
right, that's just what it should smell like.
And he says just regular Tiefling shit. You guys aren't special.
That's what I thought.
Like macaroni and cheese. Holding this velvet bag, it's got some weight to it. And it feels like something about the size of maybe a baseball, but considerably heavier. Mm-hmm. And he says that he warns you before utilizing that Factal Nylesia was into some kind of kinky shit.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
But he's got a smile on his face like he thinks you're really going to enjoy it.
I'll pull open the bag and see what's inside.
And it looks like a sensory stone, the kind you would see in the Civic Fest Hall.
Huh.
You've almost never seen these outside of the Fest Hall, though.
Okay, I'll put it in my pack.
Okay. By that evening, you guys reconvene at the temple. Right, what do you do with this stone?
I'm going to set it up in my personal office / bedroom and give it a go.
Okay. Kelian, go ahead and take your level.
Yay.
The sensory stone it seems to hold a variety of sensations, and you feel an incredible euphoria, just this mass of just giggling romantic love. The sensory stone itself contains images of Nylesia and Darkwood, the kind which, if you were a more unseemly Planescape fan, you might search for on Pornhub.com. She was essentially filming it. And then there's strong apprehension. And you realize, having used sensory stones, Riot's used sensory stones before, right? She's been...
Yeah.
Okay.
She's recorded sensory stones before.
Okay. And you realize the emotions that are hitting you are the emotions that Nylesia herself was feeling. And it's very strange, because this sensory stone covers a large span of time. Like, different visits from her man have been mushed together. But you're aware of a secret wedding ceremony. You're aware of a conversation about how their very public and vocal breakup was a ruse designed by Darkwood to throw people off. And then you get to the end of it, and it ends with extreme violence. There's a short conversation with Darkwood, and then there's anger and fear on Nylesia's part, as Darkwood says to your ears a very insincere apology. And then demons clasp her in chains and drag her to the abyss. And then the stone ends.
Yeah. Riot feels a little bit vindicated, because he has not believed for 1 second that the lady was behind any of this.
The rest of you, while Riot's checking out that stone, the oldest Barmy tells you he knows where to find the labyrinthine stone now.
Brooker, a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Would you say that the beginning of the last sensory stone was a video of Nylesia going rimward?
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
PG-13 stream, Nodal. Jeez.
Nodal fish.
That's my single joke of the week. Hope you all enjoyed it.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
The stone changed
I love
hands
Nodal.
many times. Eventually, somebody stumbled across it where it was hidden in that tower. That person was killed, and it was taken by someone else. That person tried to use it in some magic spell and got snared in a Beatisu trap. And it passed through a few devils and was used as payment here and there. Ended up with some Yugoloths. Found its way back to Sigil. Was sold to a magic shop in the bazaar. Was stolen by a cut purse. Traded away for a tankard of ale, sat on display in a bar for a little while, eventually was stolen again, and it changed hands many, many times until it came into the possession of a wizard named Tivum. I will let Mahogany and Kelian make an intelligence history check. You're the only people in this group who might know who Tivum is.
I think that's 19.
19?
Oh, you beat me.
19. 19.
I got a 12.
Okay. So Darkwood says that the stone eventually came to rest in the sanctum of this wizard Tivum. And he doesn't seem to recognize the name, although his memory, of course, is patchy, just bits and pieces of 500 years of horror. But you know Tivum. Tivum he's dead now, unfortunately, but was a wizard. And in the market ward, outside of the confines of the bazaar, although Tivum himself was an Indep, he did not set up shop in the Grand Bazaar proper. But what he sold was portal keys. He had people going around Sigil daily cataloging the changes in every portal that he could possibly find. And any key that he could stock cheaply, he kept in his shop. And he made a killing.
Well, it's in a booming business right now.
Not at the moment. But yeah, he came in possession of this stone. And the old Barmy is giddy when he explains that that's where it is now.
At a shop?
At the shop there. Tivum died, and so ownership of the shop and everything in it would have passed to his apprentice, who is a Tiefling woman named Lou. Not like Mahogany's crazy god Lou, like Lou. It's spelled differently, but pronounced the same. Although that would be a great twist. You show up and it's actually Lou. He's like, I was behind everything the whole time.
I knew it!
And he explains this whole long, sordid story. And when he comes to the end of it, and he says that it's time, let's go right now. Let's go down there and find this Lou person and get my stone.
Yeah, alright, let's
then
go.
Riot comes in the room with the knowledge that she has just gained.
Right, we know where the thing is.
Great.
Right, we have a place to go and an actual purpose in going there.
Who here knows how to bind a person in place for a long time?
You?
No, I don't, or else I'd just do it right now.
That's not what I heard from Karan.
Ha!
I imagine.
Riot actually laughs at that.
And you see the giddiness, as Riot says this, just go out of the old Barmy's face. He sees where this conversation is going.
Anyone?
Nath?
Any takers?
That sounds like Nath. Sounds like a Nath thing.
Is
Yeah,
Nath here?
No, he's
I
Is
think
this
we're
the
all
next
here.
day or no? I
Yeah,
was
we're
coming
all-
the next day.
This is after everybody reconvenes at the temple.
Yeah.
This is after
Yeah,
you've
we're all together.
set up all your food gathering
Okay.
shenanigans.
Yeah.
So Liberation looks to Nath.
Nath, hold him.
Sure. I'll hit him with a hold person.
And he holds his hands up to resist. He says, "No, I don't know what you've heard, but what kind of save is that?"
So wisdom, I believe. Let me double check.
Is that his thing? Wisdom? Is that him?
He's got level 20 in all classes, so
Crap, he has proficiency in all saves.
it's a
Shit.
bad. So here's the question. This is like a just amusing question. It's not actually going to matter because I rolled like a 5. So, but if you have class levels and your class levels gain you a particular proficiency in a saving throw, but then you lose all those class levels, do you still have the saving throw?
You don't get saving throws from multiclassing. Says the only multi-class person in this party.
Okay.
You get the ones for your first class, but like when Riot got that level of cleric, she didn't gain proficiency in the cleric saving throws.
And if you're talking about the like paladin or monk abilities, then once you lose the level that gains that ability, you no longer have that ability.
So what happens is it wouldn't be even multi-classing would even come into play here because Darkwood was a priest originally and multi-classed into ranger, but then blah 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 metaplot he loses all his priest levels. Is he still proficient in the wisdom save? It doesn't matter. He rolled a 5, and it's better if he fails the save anyway because that's.
I think the answer there is yes.
All right. So you cast Hold Person on him, and he's bound. He can still speak though, right?
Paralyzed.
He's paralyzed. I have my handy-dandy conditions checklist here. No, he can't move or speak, so his mouth is just hanging comically open as he's drooling out of his face as Nath caught him mid-sentence.
And Kelian turns to look at Riot.
You got him bound for 1 minute like this.
Kelian, this is your chance. Push him over.
Yeah, I have new information. Darkwood is behind all this, and when I say all this, I mean the fact those disappearances too. I saw him take Nylesia.
All right.
Take where?
The Abyss, I'm pretty sure.
Did he?
I think
Is he in charge of his own disappearance?
That's
I
a good question.
I don't claim to know a lot about your city, but that seems like the sort of thing that would get a person mazed.
And Riot, when you mention that you saw what happened to Nylesia, I mean, he still can't move or speak, but you see tears welling up in the old Barmy's face and start spilling down over his cheeks.
We can't trust him with anything.
We already knew that, though.
Let's go get the stone.
Darkwood.
Yeah.
You'll get the what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The stone.
Okay. That only holds him for a minute, by the way.
Yeah, what's your more permanent solution?
Right, cast teleport.
What do you teleport him to?
Oh no, I'm teleporting us to the bazaar
Oh,
to
okay.
get a much bigger leap on him.
So you're
As
not...
you start casting, just Nath will yell out, "Hey, Cube, take care of this guy while we're gone. Don't let him leave."
Kill him if you have to.
Okay. You just teleport straight to the bazaar.
Yeah.
And Tivum's shop is a squat little tower. Squat little towers are very, very popular in Sigil because there's no room to expand outwards. Everybody just expands upward.
Has anybody ever tried to build like a big skyscraper and then the builders got to the top and then just all disappeared as they got close to the center of the ring?
There are certainly stories about that having happened. The outcome of the details of the stories change depending on who's telling them.
Oh, the Dabus tore all that down.
But I have the name of the shop is actually Tivum's Antiquities. And Kelian and Mahogany, you both made that intelligence check earlier, that history check, right?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Okay. You guys both know this shop. You both have used this shop because he sells cheap portal keys. Like if you find a portal and the key is just something silly like a piece of polished granite or something, you can come here and buy it for a few coppers. Riot's never left Sigil before the campaign, so I'm assuming she doesn't know who he is.
Right.
The shop looks like it's opened, but I mean the portals aren't open in the city right now. So there is it's open for business, but there's nobody inside perusing. But the tower itself looks to be about 5 floors high.
All right.
All right.
Mahogany heads in.
Okay.
Yeah, Nath will duck inside too before anybody sees him.
Okay.
Mahogany, I know we might have seen the spell before, but now might be a good time to put up that locate spell.
Yeah.
The Brixton walks in as well.
You're going to cast
Mahogany
Locate
will
Object.
indeed toss up a locate object.
And as you go to cast the spell, it goes off without a hitch, and you definitely feel the stone up on the 5th floor of this building, up on the top floor. Yeah. But as you cast the spell, you hear a nice, friendly, grandmotherly voice from the floor above you. The floor you're on has a lot of display cases, barrels filled with normal spell keys, and she calls down and says, "There's no need for divinations, dearie. If you're after something, you simply ask, and I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can." And this hunchback old lady coming down the stairs, keeping her balance with a cane. Very friendly look on her face, but she's got that devilish look as well. She's definitely a tiefling. There's definitely some infernal blood in there.
Oh, we got one of those. We got 2 of those.
Yeah.
One of them's not a real tiefling, though.
One of them's a tiefling.
So yeah, she comes down and she says, "Haven't had much business today, but I'm happy to help any way I can. What can I do for you?"
Looking for a particular stone, sort of maze-like, labyrinthine.
It's on the 5th floor.
It is on the 5th floor.
As she looks back and forth between the two of you, and Mahogany.
Yeah.
Make an intimidation check.
That ain't me.
I just want you to make one more charisma check before the session's over.
I was gonna say that. That's not my thing. 1.
1. So you start looking for this stone, this labyrinth. It's up on the 5th floor, like you have it. Like, don't even pretend like you don't. You see the friendliness kind of melt out of her face, and now there's just suspicion there. And she looks you all over, but especially Mahogany. And she says, "What do you know about the stone? What can you tell me?"
We're here to come save the city.
We may need it to open the portals again.
And she says, "What if I decline to sell it to you? What then?"
You're not going to get a lot of business.
Are you looters? Have you come to ransack the place?
What's your price?
And she says there is no price.
Do you know what the stone does?
She doesn't answer, but she grins knowingly.
Okay.
Do you know who's trapped inside?
She says, "What if I'm not inclined to answer questions about this stone?" Riot, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
That's me, though.
Yeah, she made you make the intimidation check. Now she's making me roll the wisdom saves. That's a 11.
An 11. You feel her pushing into your mind with detect thoughts.
Yeah.
And you know that she's in there rooting around.
What does she want to know right now?
I'm not sure you actually get that information.
No, but I want to know so I can tell you. I'll answer truthfully, but...
Yeah, you have no idea what she's in there rooting for. I mean, she might just want to know what Nilesia was into. Like, that's some black market goods right there.
She gets there and reels out. Oh, never mind.
And she says, after she's really cagey about the stone, "What if I'm not inclined to answer questions?" She asks, "Is this likely to come to violence then? Would you harm an old woman?"
No.
No.
And then
Who's here?
Just
Kelian looks at his crossbow.
Everybody's here.
Yeah, Mahogany looks over at Kelian.
Well, I mean, Nath will say, "Look, I would need to in the worst case, I would need to compensate the stone for the good of the city, and either later repay you or return it to you. But right now, this isn't negotiable.
And you see her she swallows something in her throat, like she swallows a lump in her throat. She tries to stand up a little bit straighter, kind of puff her chest out a little bit. She says, in light of recent and not so recent past events, I am disinclined to recognize the authority of the Harmonium. And so I ask that you all leave peaceably.
Did we get a long rest between the previous day and this day? Is this a new day or not?
Last time you slept was the last time anybody took a rest.
Okay, wasn't sure about that. I accidentally undid all my spells. Thought we were meeting the next day, but I know one spell I had, so I'll hit her with a 5th level sleep.
5th level sleep. All right, let's roll some initiative.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
That's what I like to hear out of Kelian.
Oh, do I want this 16 or this 19? I can't decide.
Bragging is a good look for you.
I'd give you the 16 if I could, man.
Riot.
15.
15.
Oh, that's a high number.
Kelian.
9.
9. Liberation.
Call Liberation of VCR because he's stuck on 12.
Oh my god. Nath.
Nath acts at 20.
Is this what I do to you guys?
And Mahogany.
24?
Okay. Alright, bear with me a second, because I'm going to cut-paste this initiative order. I wasn't planning to use this battle map on this floor of the tower, but it'll work fine. It'll be okay. Everything is okay. Everything works out.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
What? What?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
So we'll just take it as read that this staircase goes up.
Yes.
And not down.
And not down.
What? What is... What?
You lost our initiative order, by the way.
I know. I got to cut-paste it,
That's
don't
what
worry.
You can't,
Oh,
you can't
okay.
paste it. I'm intrigued by these trailing off black squares.
Awesome.
I just didn't realize I could do that before last night, and I was just having fun with it. So...
Okay.
We just put ferocity out there. Is that what happened? So what if
Okay.
I do this? Boop. Oh, I guess ferocity's just in midair for all the rest of time now.
Bye, Ferocity.
Go ahead and place yourself wherever you'd like to be in this room. She just came down
Flumphscape.
from above. But you've got display cases and things on this floor. Down
Where's the entrance?
here, I'm just about to draw that in.
Okay.
Entrance of the building would be down here, leading out into the street. These are 5-foot squares. I was expecting the fight in the tower, but not on the ground floor. But it's fine. It's the same basic shape. Like, once again, we're doing Planescape where every single map is circular, because why wouldn't they be? Alright, so Nath is going... Your plan is to open with a sleep spell.
Yep.
And you don't have any way to make that like a silent... Like, you
Nope.
can't... Okay. So she knows you're casting a spell, so she's not surprised. But Mahogany's faster than you. Mahogany, you see Nath going to cast a spell. That's where we're going to kick off the festivities.
Alright. I'm going to... let's start it off with making something happen that I've had serious difficulties with. I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on myself.
Okay.
And then... That's it for now.
I'm going to arbitrarily decide that it does not work inside of Sickle.
Oh, damn.
So you move
It doesn't work
unaffected,
against Planar Mancatchers.
unaffected through difficult terrain. Okay, gotcha. You're just keeping up that position there?
Yep.
At the base of the stairs? Okay. There is faint light in here, so nobody's going to be blinded. Nath, go ahead and cast your sleep spell. That's not a save. That's just you roll, and that's how many HPs.
Does she have 53 or less hit points?
She does not.
Then nothing happens.
Okay. So, Nath, you throw out this sleep spell expecting this frail little old lady to keel over snoring. And not only does she not keel over snoring, but her head snaps in your direction. And you see her grab her walking cane by the middle, where she was leaning on it before. Now she's standing of her own accord, holding this magical cane in her hand, which is almost certainly a spell focus. And you're all about to get walloped. Moving or staying put, Nath?
That's the end of Nath's turn. I'll look over to Riot. That was a pretty high valency, Riot.
Riot,
I got one too.
you're up.
Let's put an irresistible dance on her.
Irresistible dance.
Yeah. And then Riot goes upstairs.
So what does her dance look like?
I don't control her. Let's make it one of those, the Cossack dances?
That doesn't prevent her from...
She can still act,
She
but
still
she can't move. And she has disadvantage on dex saves and attack rolls, and everything has advantage on her.
Gotcha.
And she has to take an action to end the spell.
You're going to go upstairs?
I'm going to have to go upstairs, hopefully out of her line of sight.
Yeah, you can get up around, because it's a very tight spiral staircase going up to the second floor.
Yeah.
Second floor looks much like the first, dimly lit with candlelight, display cases filled with various nonsense. I actually have a list of just the crazy shit in this place.
How many hats?
But the stairs continue up to the top.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring us
Riot
to...
said she wasn't going to hurt her, and she's not.
High ferocity.
It's
I'll
gonna bring
yell
us
out
to
to Riot, telling her
liberation.
which side of the floor it's on.
Okay.
Liberation, what's good?
I'm gonna close to her,
Okay.
and I'm going to punch her.
You're gonna punch her.
Well, you get advantage on all these punches.
Not really punch her, but do some 5-finger exploding heart technique.
Okay.
That's a little rude.
How does a 16 do on her?
16 will hit.
Okay. Gonna deal a little bit of damage. Well, maybe it might be a lot bit of damage. 6 damage to her.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to spend 2 key points to block her key.
So she's stunned.
No. Using the Way of the Shifting Flow ability from the supplement.
So that what does it
Key
do
is
though?
disrupted. Cannot spend key points, superiority dice, disadvantage on attack rolls. Save DCs are reduced by 5.
Okay. Any moving or staying put? After punching a harmless, defenseless old woman.
Did defenseless my ass.
I'll wait till
Staying
Kelian's
put.
turn.
Staying put?
Yeah, staying put.
Kelian, there's a dancing, harmless, defenseless old woman with blocked key at the base of these stairs.
Yes, I'm shooting her, okay?
I don't feel bad about it.
Kelian, no!
That is a 26.
26 will hit.
You went before in initiative too, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh god. That's a free crit, huh?
No, it's not a free crit. It's a different ability. What is that die? It's apparently a 5.
Like a 5.
That
So,
comes
what's the total?
to not a hell of a whole lot. 32.
32. Okay. And she cries out in pain as Kelian's bolt catches her in the torso. Riot, from your position up on the second floor, kind of scanning around, looking, you start hearing movement on the floor just above you, floor number 3.
Okay.
Not really sure what it is because you're still a few feet as you're moving up the stairs. You haven't quite gotten that high yet, but it sounds large. And it sounds like it's moving in response to her crying out in pain. Kelian,
Okay.
moving or staying put?
There we
Gonna
go.
join Riot.
You're going to climb up the stairs, go past Riot?
No.
You want to be behind her or in front of her? Yes, it's going to be important.
Behind her.
Behind her.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best.
Let me make some rolls here. So that doesn't prevent her from casting anything. Just if she has key points or sorcery points or anything, she can't spend them.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And if she does cast something, her save DC is 5 minus. Yeah.
She is going to cast a spell.
Counterspell.
Counterspell. What
Okay.
level counterspell do you use?
Third.
Third. Go ahead and make that roll.
Spells of level. Was that only a 13? How does this work? Sorry.
It's just a spellcasting
roll.
ability roll.
You roll, you add your spellcasting ability modifier, and you also add your proficiency because you're that type of wizard.
Right. But it's just. Oh, so.
Just tell us the number.
Yeah, just roll it and tell me the
13.
number. 13? Not good enough.
That's
Nothing-
minus 10, right?
Nothing Nath does is ever good enough.
Wait, what?
That was what I was trying to remember. It's minus 10 spell levels, right?
It's 10 plus the spell level is the difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 13 didn't do it. So
Liberation.
I have
says
to make...
counterspell as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
You can go... What level?
And fails.
Okay, that's...
It can only be third level.
oh,
so-
that's right. It's not a spell for you.
Yeah.
All right, let me make some rolls
Because
here.
I only roll like.
Alright, don't attack my charisma now.
Riot, what is the DC to break your dance?
19. It's a wisdom thing.
Okay, second try, she gets it. Let me do some quick calculations.
Wait, okay. So she didn't cast a spell then.
She did.
Well, then she has to use her action.
I know.
Okay.
I've read the spell. I know exactly
She's
what's happening.
cheating.
There's some bullshit going
Remember,
on.
every NPC has
Gotcha.
20 in all class levels. It's fine.
Right.
Nath, here's what you see. 1 minute, she's like dancing the Macarena in front of you, and she goes to cast a spell. You and Liberation instinctively try to counterspell and get nowhere. Next thing you know, she's no longer standing in front of you.
Oh, I know what spell she casts.
And that's it. That's all you get. That's going to bring us to Riot. You hear a lot of really loud stomping coming from your direction from the 3rd floor of this tower. Right above
Okay.
you. Like right there.
All right.
It's going to bring us to Mahogany.
Alright, I'm going to cast Investiture of Air and float my way up the center of this tower.
Wait, what? Investiture of Air?
Yeah.
You can't just make up random spells.
No. Brick Road, this isn't even as offensive as the last time I cast a spell.
Do you mean Investiture of Wind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time I cast a spell, I was a Flying Earth Elemental. Frankly, you owe me for making it this sane.
You weren't concentrating on anything else, right?
No.
Okay, cool. And you're gonna... how high are you going?
I'm just going to float up the center of the tower until I hit not center of the tower anymore.
You go to the 2nd floor, and it looks pretty empty. That's about where Riot and Kelian are standing. Going up to the 3rd floor... This is going to get tricky because we have to overlap the floors here, but I was expecting that. Let's go ahead and change the color on this guy here. Let's make him green. Why not? He's green now. This one is going to be kind of like a brownish. Standing right at the edge of the stairs, which means you're passing up through its threat range, is an enormous golem made out of what looks like brilliant, shimmering gemstones. This golem looks like he's worth millions. He's standing right at the staircase, and you're going to have to fly past him. If you want to continue going up, you provoke an AO. There's one other thing you see is on the far side of the room, moving about halfway, but moving towards the staircase, it's a second golem lashed together with rope, cord, and wire.
All right, I'll call out to everyone 2 golems on the 3rd floor, and then I'll keep going upwards. But as I do so, I'm going to make sure I'm over a staircase.
Just in case you get hit and the spell ends.
Exactly.
Okay. So this is their actual position inside the room on the floor, but they're on the 3rd floor at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Attack of opportunity.
Make sure to roll at disadvantage.
Oh, okay. How does a 29 do?
Well, are you sure about that? You sure?
Pretty sure. 22 points bludgeoning damage.
All right.
As this thing, it's not armed with anything. It doesn't have a weapon. But it's got these gigantic fists, and the reach on it is astounding. It looks like the gems actually come dislocated as he reaches out dull seam style and just bludgeons you in the chest as you're flying up. Does that make
Well,
you
that
fall?
sucks, but I'm out.
You're out?
I'm keep going up.
Okay, so you're going to keep flying up. Okay. So you made that concentration check.
Yes.
Okay. Going up to the next floor, to the 4th floor, this is when you catch a glimpse of Lou disappearing around the spiral above you. So if you keep going up, you're going to catch her nearing the top of the stairs at the 5th floor.
Yep, and I will keep on moving upwards, and I'll shout out to everyone. She's moving on to the 5th floor.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put her back. She's on the 5th floor.
So, like, she knows where I am, because I'm constantly shouting.
Oh, yeah, because her golem downstairs just took a piece out of you.
Yeah.
Edgar really liked what that golem did. He's a big fan. Okay.
Is that the golem barking?
When you get up to where Lou is that where you end your turn?
Well, my goal is to get as close as I can to where the stone is as possible.
Okay.
Because I knew exactly where it was, but if it's moved since then, I'm only going to where it used to be.
Here's the problem. There's no more stairs. There's not another floor above you. You are feeling the ping of the stone off in this direction, but it's still above you.
Okay.
And there's no other stairs going up.
Okay.
But it's definitely beyond the wall of this room.
Okay. So, I'm going to say, because that was a concentration spell, was locate object. So I don't have the knowledge. Like, I know it's higher than I felt it, but I don't know where it is anymore.
That's fine.
Okay, I just want to... So don't tell me where it is anymore after this.
Well, I mean, you were getting up here probably just expecting to go up another floor because you knew how high it was originally.
And I'll shout out that information as well.
Okay.
Do a lot of shouting. I've already cast all my actions and stuff, so that's all I got.
Also, Brookroad, it's a little bit academic, but she does get to save Constitution to break the chi block effect.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I took that into account. I'm assuming your save DC isn't lower than 19.
It's 17.
Okay. Riot's the one that I always have to double check because part of my brain just never believes it's 19.
When I level up soon, it's going to be 20.
Actually, wait, no, it's 18 now.
Oh, 18. Well, she passed on a 19.
Yes. Okay.
Speed 40. 5, 10, 50. Okay, so he can get all the way to the stairs and start climbing them. So, Mahogany, you're probably out of his reach, but Riot certainly is not. So, Riot, you see above the corner, the curl of the stairs as you're going upward, this rope golem standing at the edge of the stairs, and he's about to make you not like rope golems. How does a 10 do?
That misses.
How about a 24?
Let's see if I can roll 10 or an 11 or 12 on a
D12?
on a D12.
Hey!
Look at that. A 13 will not do.
So he lashes out, and he's a considerable distance above you still. You've still got like a flight of stairs between you. You're a good 15 feet away, you figure, but it doesn't matter. These ropes, he lashes out with the left and right arms, and you just dodge out of the way, just very artfully. Kelian's impressed, and Kelian's never impressed. That's going to bring us to Nath.
Alright, so if I move up to if I get in line on the stairs and go up to the 2nd floor, do I have sight on these golems yet when I'm behind these two, or not yet?
If you pass Kelian, I'll give you sight on... Yeah, both golems, because the gem one had to reach down into the stairwell to lash out at Mahogany.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're willing to stand in front of Kelian, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and hit the gem golem with a 4th level magic missile.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
It's 3. 23 force damage.
23.
6 missiles.
Okay. And as you hit him with these force missiles, parts of his body break off and shatter and hit the ground. And the parts of the gemstones that hit the ground break open and emit what can only be described as the screams of the wailing damned.
If you say so.
At the moment, nobody is standing particularly close to this golem. Mahogany continued moving past him, but you get the sense that if you're standing nearby when that happens, probably nothing good comes of it.
I can't believe we're fighting a Solum.
Oh, jeez.
Might have been better that I didn't have anything to just shatter it then.
Perfectly good PG-13 joke. Let's stick with those. Are you ending there on the stairs behind Kelian?
Yeah, stand in Nath's turn.
All right, it's going to bring us to Riot.
Okay. Kelian's right here behind me, right?
Kelian's right behind you, and then Nath is right behind Kelian.
Yeah. Riot's going to grab onto Kelian, and we're going to go to the 5th floor.
So you're just going to boop all the way to the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and just place yourself wherever you want to appear in the 5th floor. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. He said that the stone was on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's be about in the middle of that side of the room.
And you blip into place pretty much just as she's reaching the top, and she looks over, and you see she's not too terribly surprised to see you materialize next to her, and she clutches
Yeah,
her
I didn't
cane.
think so.